What is up, everyone? How you guys doing? Michael Mansell here. I have got a really, really special guest coming on with me here in just a second to our live stream today. Conversations of the Successful. I've got my good buddy, Caujuan Mayo, with me here today. Why don't I bring him on here? Caujuan, are you there?
I am here, my friend. I am here.
What's up, brother?
Well, how's it going? How's it going?
Good, man. Good. People are going to be hopping on right now. I'm going to pull up the comments over here so I can check and see the feedback over here. Everybody, as you're coming on, I want you guys to put a 1 in the comment if you guys are amped up and ready to go to hear some conversations of the successful today with my good buddy Caujuan Mayo. He's a 6-figure successful online entrepreneur. He's got an entire tagline that spits out like off the tongue because he's also a musician and a rapper and an artist and a lot of other crazy stuff. A published author, #1 selling bestseller published author on Amazon and other places. So I'll let him introduce himself here as well, Caujuan. But it's really good to have you here.
Oh man, I'm really happy to be here. I'm awesome platform. I'm loving what I'm seeing so far. It's really cool. I see it's like really engaging. I already see people popping in, so that's pretty cool, And hey, man, let's just dive on in with it, man. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun here. So if you're not familiar with Haps yet, I do want to just make sure everybody knows this platform is legit and it is awesome. If you guys haven't gone there yet, make sure you go to haps.club. Haps.club, get yourself set up as a free account. There are so many good things happening over here with the platform, and I want to make sure you guys get in on it. There's invite links to get on here. Subscribe to Caujuan, subscribe to myself. We bring a lot of content, a lot of fire, especially those of you that know us. We don't just sit around and twiddle our thumbs and wait and hope for things to happen for us, right, Caujuan?
Nah, not at all. I mean, my day starts from 3:30 to 4. It's going up and up now, so it's getting crazy. It used to be 5 o'clock. Then people start actually calling me at like 6, and I was like, okay, well, you know what? They're calling me too early, so let's make it like 4:30. Then my body, I don't know, it's just been getting crazy. I've been getting up early and earlier. So if I happen to go to bed early, I'm definitely getting up early. But no later than 5, I am up every day starting my day.
Wow. Yeah, I'm about 6 o'clock. I used to be 8. I used to be 9. I used to never set an alarm. Because, that was the dream, right? Just, fire your boss, be your own boss, wake up whenever you want to, work whenever you want to. And that was fun for a while. But eventually there's so much drive, there's so much motivation on us because of what we have achieved and helping other people succeed, that now it's like I'm waking up, and I'm sure you're the same way. Our brain kind of wakes us up and says, hey, Michael, get your butt out of bed. There's people that are wanting and needing you, not from a perspective of like I used to have when I ran a website development company. I had customers like, when's my website going to get done? When's that graphic going to come over? When's that preview going to come to me? This is more like people saying, we want to see you, we want to work with you, we want to, achieve great things today. And isn't that an awesome feeling, Caujuan, to be woken up by that kind of motivation?
Nah, absolutely. It's funny too, because sometimes I actually feel guilty because I'll sit in bed a little later, like, you know what, I don't have to get up yet. Because I'll wake up, but I'll still lay down for another 30 minutes. And then when I finally do get up, say, I should have got up 30 minutes ago. Yeah. So I'll be anxious. And then it'd be like on Sundays, okay, I promised my wife, I said, okay, I'll take one day off. Because she at least take one day off. So Sunday is supposed to be the day I take off. And even on Sunday, what I do is I just get up extra early. And I'm like, look, it don't count if you still sleep. So I get as much as I can get done before she wakes up. And then by the time she wakes up, like, all right, okay, I have to come back downstairs now. So when y'all see me on Sunday posting, that's because she's still asleep. And I get it in as early as I can.
Yep, absolutely. Totally. Mad respects to both you and I's wives who put up with our crazy, we'll just call it screen time, if you will, with our businesses. I know you're a phone guy still, Caujuan. I'm not much of a phone guy anymore. It's all through messaging and stuff. And I know you do a lot of messaging as well, but they certainly have a lot of patience with us and for us, with all the people that we help around the world every single day.
Extremely. But hey, you know what? Those are better halves. That's what makes our job that much more, enjoyable. It makes us be able to do it because we have that support. Because imagine if we didn't have that support and nobody was in our corner, or they was nagging us when we can't help and get off. I mean, every now and then I'm gonna get that, I mean, like, okay,
Well, and it's usually because we're not doing a good job maintaining a little bit of balance, because the
There you go.
balance is important in our lives. And I find that the times I do pull back a little bit, find a little bit of balance, I'm that much more energized, refreshed, ready to go. Probably gotten some good insight and wisdom from my wife Lauren in the meantime, and then my head's clear again.
I agree. That is, you're absolutely right about that. I actually had to take the day off. This is the first time I even came on today because I woke up early again, four or five, and I just wasn't feeling it. I was like, you know what, today ain't the day, and I was like, I'm just taking the day off. I'll come back later on tonight. I got some commitments I got to deal with, but for the day, I had no commitments. I posted one time and I was done.
Yeah.
So sometimes, we got to do that because we'll just go like the Energizer Bunny. You already know. I mean, if we add it up to us, like it's been times my wife take a trip. Oh man, I'm really in here all day. Like if I'm at home by myself, I'm here all day. You ain't even got to worry about it. This is where I'm at. You know exactly where to find me. So you're right. We got to have that balance because the whole purpose in us being our own bosses and doing network marketing, online marketing was for the purpose of having freedom. And then it's kind of like people don't realize, like, you know what, we work more than the average person. People go to work, they come home, they're like, you're still in the office, So we actually put in more hours a lot of times, but we play hard too. So we work hard, and then when it's time to play, we can actually do that. When you can jump in that Tesla and go, cross country with your hands behind your head,
Right. Yeah. That's when we know that it's worth it. And it's interesting though, because before, let me go all the way back to my college days when I was in Bible college. I was about 19. I was working for a CNC factory, actually, a Japanese CNC factory. We're making these little gears for Toyota vehicles for the windshield wipers. Anyway, I literally fell asleep one day walking across a factory floor and woke up with a pole in front of my face. I literally fell asleep walking across the factory floor because I was working third shift, and it was almost an 8-hour shift. But that felt grueling. That felt like torture. But I can work 8 hours in my online business and with my team members and blink, and I'm thinking, seriously, it's already 9:00 at night. I just started at 6 a.m. What happened to the day? You blink and it's like, whoa.
Exactly. That's what they say, man. When it starts to feel like work to you, then that's when you need to quit it,
Yep.
And it doesn't feel like work. It's fun. I invest in my craft. That's why you see we put it all into our offices, and I see your awesome studio you have, and it's like what my wife say, or she said that the men don't grow older. They said the toys just get bigger or something like that, or more expensive.
Yeah.
But we never grow up. We always go love our toys, go love our gadgets. I'm the same way. I always got to have the latest thing that comes out. Love it. And I don't know, like I said, it doesn't feel like work. So that's the reason why I could put in those hours, get up them crazy times. They're like, man, I looked at your first post, Caujuan. It said 4 a.m. on there. Like,
And we're on Pacific time right now. I'm in Arizona, so technically Mountain time, but 6 months out of the year, I'm aligned with you. And so if you see a post at that time here, it's not like on the East Coast where I see, say, our buddy Said posting and like 2:30. I'm like, no, wait a second. That's like 6:30 or 5:30. So anyway, yeah, that's some serious early posting for sure. I want to come over here into our comments as well too, because I want to make sure our viewers that are hopping on, how many of you guys know Caujuan in the internet marketing space, in the affiliate marketing, network marketing, online income generating space? How many of you guys have heard of him, seen him? Maybe you're done business with him before. Give him a shout out down there in the comments. I know that you and I, because you and I go quite a ways back, and we should probably tell that story a little bit too, because we go a little ways back. So share with everybody that a little bit. And as you're putting in the comments, shout out to Caujuan Mayo here. Make sure you subscribe to him too while you're on this show.
Well, it's funny that, and you know what, this can actually be inspiration for other people when you're looking at, leaders, and you're inspired to be like the leaders that you look at, and you think that you can never, get to that level, or you feel like they're so far past, what they're doing, that they got such a head start that you're never going to catch up. And that can not be the farthest from the truth, because honestly, you guys, I used to actually, I looked up to you, I looked up to you in the industry because you had a more of a head start. It was like we both was trying to find our way. We both was doing what we need to do to make it, but you just had a little bit more of a head start on me. He was always like this. And even when we was in a lot of businesses, I used to always notice that, like, always right above me. Like, we'd be in a competition, he hit first place, I hit second. You know, and it always would be like that. It'll always be like that every time. And I was like, man, Michael's over there kicking butt, you know, and then he hit first on YouTube. You know, I had my YouTube channel, but just wasn't really doing much. And his was already generating, generating them traffic and generating momentum, and I was seeing you getting sales off of it. And yeah, and we went way back. I think that was like 2013, right before binary options, because it was even before we jumped into the whole binary phase in 2014 when that whole wave came.
Yeah,
and that was a whole nother thing. But yeah, that 2013, man, that was really like inspirational for me, because I actually came in the game in 2012, and I was just super wet behind the ears, didn't know what I was doing, just watching what was going on online, trying to emulate others. And Michael Mansell was one of the leading forces that was actually already starting to make a name for himself. He was the first one branding himself. See, I was doing amateur stuff like branding myself with the company name, and stuff like that.
We were sporting the swag before. We all did it.
Exactly. Then them companies go out of business. You got all the stuff you got to change. I have my YouTube channel with their names on it and stuff, but it's good though for people to see that, because I don't even take those things down. Like, if people really was to go research, go to my first videos on YouTube, you can go all the way down to the bottom, and I don't take those things off, because I want you to see the growth. I want you to see, like, whoa, wait a minute, you didn't just start off like this. You didn't just jump out your mama and had a big old back office and lights and cameras and professional mics. You didn't have none of that. Everything was just raw, like super raw, and uncut. But the thing is, we got busy, So yeah, that was where it all started at, and man, it's just been getting better and better throughout the years. We joined multiple companies together. Some I joined with him, some he joins with me. We return the favor. Like we say, your network is your net worth. So we at the point now where we could just talk straight across the board. I don't have to be like, Michael, do you keep your options open? And nor does he. He said, hey, come on, look, I got this awesome opportunity I want you to look at, just like this. That's how I'm here right now.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, and it's interesting you mentioned that, because one of the things that I thought about writing a whole course on is how to approach leaders in the industry, in the affiliate marketing, network marketing industry, how to message them, how to get their attention. Because now seeing it on the other side, when you and I both used to be, trying to get the attention of that rock star that we knew, like, man, if we only got them on our team, man, we would crush it. That's all we need is that one person. Which at the end of the day isn't actually true, but that's a whole separate education and story. Because sometimes working with a bunch of leaders is like herding cats. And I'm saying that with respect to myself is the same way. It's interesting, because when you're in the game, right? We're very focused and passionate about what we're doing. I'm focused and passionate about my team and my people that I'm helping. And I'm not just going to go and promote anything, right? Like, we're not going to just uproot or add something else. I rarely end income streams. I generally only add things. Sometimes things fizzle out, but would you say that's the same way with you? You don't usually ever just abruptly say, I'm taking my whole team from here and I'm moving them over to here, and this is why I quit XYZ company.
I actually think that's the wrong thing to do. I think, especially when everyone can't do what we do, like, yeah, we might be able to jump from this to this and then be able to still hit the top of the leaderboards, but everyone else can't do that. We know that's not the norm. And if you got people just trying to put, like, right when they got focus here, now pull you over here. And just when you was trying to get the hang of this, now pull you over here. And it just gives off the wrong message. So a lot of times, like you say, y'all add for sure, multiple streams. I'm all for it. But if someone would say, well, what happened with that one thing? Well, we're still in that. What happened with OSP? Well, we're still in that. What happened with even Conversion Pro? You go way back to Conversion Pro. I'm still in that. I still, so it's just that we might not put it out. And then this is the beauty in marketing too. You get to a certain point where you built the infrastructure, you got the foundation, so you don't have to go as hard as you did in the beginning no more. It kind of takes on a life of its own, and it organically just keeps doing what it needs to do. So a lot of these companies, it's like, yeah, I'm still in them, but I don't need to actively be promoting it every single day. I can literally just come out the woodworks and say, okay, today's the day for that. Like, I know we both in marketing booths. I haven't seen you posting that a lot, but I know travel's about to start again. Boom, we can put a light back under that, but we never stop them. We just add to it.
Exactly. It's funny, we're talking about various programs here too. One of your Facebook friends, Carlos Rod, commented on your feed over there that's streaming, and he said, I know both of you from Traffic Authority. I'm like, Traffic Authority in a minute, but it is actually, I did actually just cash out. I logged into my e-wallet and there was like $1,800 in there. I was like, oh, I forgot about this. I better cash that out. And that was Traffic Authority, and it's something that, I have. It's on various YouTube videos because it's a great and solid product that, Greg Chambers, solid dude, providing traffic for us. But it's just funny. Like, there's somebody who knows both of us from a program that we don't talk about a lot today because it's a tool, it's a resource, but it's still providing income with us, even if we're not talking about it 24/7.
And that was actually my first real network marketing company. I don't know if everybody knows that, but that was the real one. Like before that, dabble in some things here. It wasn't really much, got caught up in some things I probably shouldn't have been. I didn't know no better, but that was the first legitimate, like, okay, this is the one. I'm gonna be honest though, it might have been a little bit too aggressive for somebody new coming in because it was high ticket. And it was like, yeah, that was so it was overwhelming for me, but it definitely put me in the right state because I seen people hitting those big numbers. That's when I saw somebody make $100,000 a month, and I knew this is where I wanted to be at.
Yeah, and I think let's talk about that for a second, because you and I both were at a stage about the same time where we were at least I know I was idolizing some marketers back then that I followed, I was connected with, I was looking at what they were doing online. I was trying to figure it out. I was trying to reverse engineer it. But at the end of the day, I got stuck in this mode where I was just idolizing their successes and not actually modeling their action steps to create my own success. And a lot of people get stuck right there, don't they?
Absolutely. I think that's the biggest mistake we make too. We're too busy looking at someone else's plate, and not realizing what's on your plate don't make me full. So concentrate on what you're doing. Now you can emulate. I tell people all the time, emulate, but don't duplicate. Like, because if you just literally just take everything I do word for word and image, all people see is a copycat at that point. Oh, you're copying Quan's post. Y'all seen him do that earlier. And then you're actually helping my brand more than you're helping yours, because now the field sees, whoa, wow, this guy is so popular that everyone's using this stuff right now. Okay, this must be the person to follow. So you do the opposite. You emulate. You say, wow, you know what? That post got a ton of engagement. So since that post got a ton of engagement, I'm gonna make one just like it, but I'm gonna switch it up a little bit, and I'm gonna use a different image, and I'm gonna change up this title part right here. But everything else, we're gonna take all that, right. And that was the way to do it.
And you got to make it your own. You absolutely have to make it your own. And I've seen you do that over the years. You're obviously a brand master. You started out doing, other companies' brands, and you obviously are the king of swag and your whole studio. That's why I wanted to throw your whole studio up here on the screen right now, because you've got that whole look, the, get money like a boss, the whole slogans, the clothing, the shades. In fact, speaking of shades, I brought these just because I knew you were coming on. So I needed to make sure that I could try to keep up with the one and only Caujuan Mayo with my shades as well.
That's what's up, birds of a feather.
Man, how do you see when you have shades on? Is that like a skill you acquire over time? I can't.
Well, we always got these bright lights on us, so it ain't really that hard, with these bright lights in our face.
That is funny. Hold on, let me throw you back up here. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about the brand journey that you've been on, and what that means to you, making things your own and creating your own look, and the good and the bad. Like what type of good responses have you gotten? What kind of bad responses have you gotten from it?
All right, so good response. Actually, to be honest with you, I haven't got any bad responses. It's always been positive because it's actually admired. It's like, wow, this is yours. A couple of times they would actually think it was a brand that you can buy, and they'd be like, oh, what can I buy that? That's actually pretty, that's pretty clever. Get money like a boss, like the slogan. And I'm like, no, this is my brand. Then they get more impressed.
Yeah, get your own tequila.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So at that point, they're like, whoa, okay, that's pretty cool. And I come from a creative side. I like graphics. I like design. Right. I actually went to the Art Institute for graphic design. So
I didn't know that.
Yep. So this is right up my alley. And I was like, you know what? I'm a real creative person. I like creating things. So when it came to doing clothes, it was like, all right, this is easy. It's no brainer. Let's go. And the more I got a good response, I wear more of my own clothes, and I wear even designer brands, anything else. Like I like my designer stuff, but I have way more of my own stuff in my closet than I have of any of that stuff.
Yeah, and I've seen some of the stuff. I mean, you're printing on shoes, on backpacks, on socks, on pants, on whole clothes,
underwear.
I'm sure underwear. I knew you were going to throw that out there. I'm sure you got some nice boxer briefs that are lit with your brand. I don't know which one of your customers are seeing that brand, but I'm just saying.
Only nobody see that one.
Hopefully, that's just Stephanie that's seeing that brand right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, everybody that's watching right now, I've got a few different streams here up. I want you guys to throw in a question. What kind of a question? If you had the opportunity to ask somebody that has made 6, 7 figures in the online marketing space, what kind of questions do you have? And I want you to really think about the question in terms of, I would say there's no such thing as a dumb question, but think of what question you not just want to get answered because you feel stuck in some place, but think of a question that might give you some inspiration to level up your game. And the reason I say that specifically is because I would say that if we get just stuck in the how do we do that stage instead of the how can we become better at it, then you'll be able to level up your game a lot better if you think in those terms. Like, let me ask questions and get answers to questions that will help me level up from where I'm at rather than feeling like, oh, I can't do anything until I get this how to question done. How to's are for tutorials. This time for question is, how can I level up my game in XYZ? How can I level up my game in social media? How can I level up my game in email marketing? How can I level up my game and follow up? Those kind of questions. Like, what type of things do you guys want to level up your game on? I can guarantee you, Quan will have a great answer for you in it. And if he doesn't, I got his back.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Now I'm still getting used to the Haps app here and the interface and everything. So I'm playing around with stuff here and messing around. And it's kind of fun because I get to push Quan around the screen. That's always kind of fun.
All right, I see something right here too. We got a question.
Okay.
That says, what is the one best tip to brand yourself? All right, so the first tip I say to branding yourself is to first come up with a logo. That's where it's going to start. You got to get your logo. You got to get something that represents you, something that screams. And again, when you start this, don't go look at somebody else's thing and say, oh, I'm going to do that. Like even me, I'm not gonna lie, I'm even guilty of it. I jumped in the crypto space and we got a good friend called Bitcoin Rodney, and I had the Monica said Bitcoin Mayo. Like, come on, what I mean? It's like, don't do that. This guy already that's his thing, so it's that kind of stuff, or if I change mine to the Amp Champs, you like, come on, what are you doing?
Come on, dude, come on. I was the Amp champ for creating the Amp brand. You can't take that.
That's what I'm saying. I can't go over there and take that. So that's the first thing. Be yourself, okay? Don't try to be like the next person, because like I can get away with looking like this. You might do it and somebody sees right through you. And it's like, what is that? It's like when people was renting Lambos and houses that they didn't own, and they would stand in front of them to try to get a sale. Like, people see through that stuff. And even me in the early stages, I fell for the hype. So I would do these things too because I didn't know any better. But once I was myself, even if I was wearing glasses in the dark, I'm being myself. That's when people resonated with me. So you do the same thing. Be yourself. Start off with your brand, and that's your logo, and then start branding yourself out from there. Just build it out from there. And then a slogan. Something that amplifies you. Something that shows what you about, and then that's it, man. And it will just start to grow in a life of its own. It'll become a household name. People resonate with it because now you're subconsciously in people's heads. So you don't want to be. I like to come in through the back door. That's why I say that's coming in through the back door versus coming through the front door. Because instead of me telling you what I'm all about, if I wear it everywhere, you would go seek it out yourself. Like, I had a shirt right now that said "Get Money Like a Boss.com." It's a certain amount of people that's going to be on this. And say, what is that? I'm curious. Out of curiosity, let me just go see. Boom! Instantly, you just did some marketing without you having to get a funnel and get it and be the best copywriter and know the top people in the game. You don't have to do any of that. You just wear your brand and put it out there. And that's another thing you can do. Put your website on everything. Put on your bumper, put it on your shirt, put it on your hat, put it in when you're in the supermarket shopping, put it on your back. So someone's standing in line waiting, they ain't got nothing else to do. What most people have in their hand. You can even get creative and put a QR code on your shirt. And then I guarantee somebody's going to be behind you going, boop.
Yeah, exactly. Put it on your back so they don't feel embarrassed, like scanning you on the front.
Exactly.
Just put the QR code and say, scan me. And people are just curious, and they're going to scan you just for the sake of scanning you.
Absolutely.
That's really good advice. The one thing I want to throw in there as well is don't expect your friends and family, the people that love you and care about you the most, that you think should be the first to affirm or agree with or encourage you in your new pursuit of branding yourself as an entrepreneur, internet marketer, affiliate marketer. There will be some that will support you and your family and close ones, but there will be some that will never see you as anybody but the little kid that they saw growing up with, or they were your kid. So that would be the one encouragement I give people. Don't look for that acceptance or need for approval, especially from your friends and family.
No, absolutely not. Because they see what you was doing just a week ago. So
Exactly.
yeah, you know, you got to see people online. They don't know what you was doing a week ago. You could be anything you want.
Exactly.
You tell them you Superman, they're gonna believe you until they see you can't fly. But
Right.
your family know better. They're like, you don't knock it off, Clark.
Take them shades off. You ain't no Clark.
You know what I mean? Lauren said, well, question said, oh, she heard a bird. So she thought she heard one. Yes, that's King.
Oh yeah, there is a bird back there. There's King back there. Yeah. Actually, Lauren did have a question. We'll bring King up here in a second because I want to say hi to King.
Absolutely.
So let's see. We got a few other questions here. I want to keep the questions going. So Lauren had a question. What was your biggest hurdle you had to jump over to start becoming successful in the online world?
Woo! The biggest hurdle was people taking me serious in the beginning, like people realizing that I had something really to offer because they didn't know me yet. And it was frustrating because I would see certain people in the game killing it, crushing it, but I felt personally that person didn't have the most integrity. I could see some of the things they were doing. It was like fluff, or they were overcharging people things, or they would upsell you to death. You know, you join a team and now they got a funnel for this price, and they got some leads for this price and solo ads for this. And it was just, and I was like, man, you know, I'm really trying to get people real value. I'm really trying to teach them really know how to do this. But I wasn't a household name yet. No one knew who I was. I didn't have that credibility. And the best way to get that credibility, and that's going to be the next question. Like, well, dang, well, how would you do to overcome that? Stay consistent.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the best advice I can tell you. Stay consistent, because there's no magic pill. There's no people always looking for the magic pill, and you're going to click a button and get 1 million sales. It doesn't exist. Let me tell you right now, it does not exist. What I've learned is your relationships and being consistent. Those are the two biggest factors in you really being successful, at least as an online and network marketer.
Yeah, consistently building those relationships. That's really good. Here's another question. What would you tell someone what to focus on to grow? What should be the thing they should focus on to grow? You kind of said it there a little bit in terms of getting over those hurdles.
That's what I would say. I would say stay consistent, because what happens from staying consistent too is you're going to realize you're going to go back and you know what Facebook is even going to show you. So Facebook is going to say, this is what you posted 2 years ago. And you're going to go, oh my God, what was I thinking?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? But the good thing about that is you're going to see your growth. You're going to say, wow, I done came a long way. And you're going to see, one of the things I tell my people, like, okay, this is how you, if you want to see why people might not be paying you that much attention, or they might not be buying from you right away, ask yourself with no arrogance, just take yourself out of your body, put yourself in customer mode, and be honest with yourself and say, if I was looking at what I'm looking at right now, would I join? Yeah. Or would I purchase this? Or would I follow this person? And if you can't say 100% yes to yourself, what make you think a stranger don't know you is going to say yes? And you need to change whatever that is to make it so it's 100% yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And the one other thing that I'd add in terms of, because I get that question a lot, and it usually comes from, you know, what service, what tool, what social platform, you know, what task should I focus on? Because the mindset, I think, is 90% of the hurdle for most people getting started out, and 10% are the systems and the tools and the social platforms and the marketing that you got to do to become successful in it, even though most people think it's the other way around. They think it's 90% marketing and, you know, 10% mindset, and totally wrong. But to give you one thing to focus on, I would say, like you said, with consistency, is to focus on one social platform and be consistent on getting exposure on that one social platform. So if you're liking haps.club here and you say, you know, I like this community, I like this social platform, it's new, there's a lot of room for growth here, I'm going to focus on just that. Even if you let Facebook, Twitter, all the YouTube, all the other social platforms go, make sure that everybody on Haps know who you are. Like, everybody should know, wow, this person shows up every day. They do a live broadcast. I tune in. And Dale, that's what I would suggest you do, is just pick a social platform and consistently expose yourself on it.
That's great advice, because a lot of people is on Instagram, right? I actually have over 90,000 followers on Instagram, and I'm rarely on Instagram because I learned early on, even with all the followers, it just doesn't work for me as far as from a marketing standpoint. I could put something up. I don't get people get sales. I don't get sales, but I know other people that's crushing it. I know people that's made 7-8 figures, 100% off Instagram.
Right.
Okay. But they focus on it too. 24/7. They on it. They making sure they posting at least 2 or 3 times a day with pictures and content. I don't have the time to do that, you know? So for me, it just wasn't that one. There's other Twitter Twitter's never been my thing. There's other people that's made a killing on Twitter. Snapchat, not my thing, so stay in your lane, for sure. Find something that resonates with you and just take it to the stratosphere. Like I took YouTube to the stratosphere. Michael Mansell taught me how to do it. After that, it was over. I was like, oh, this is it. All right, I see it. It's working. And then Facebook kind of came after that. Like Facebook came and just took on a life of his own. So those are my two main platforms. Everything else is kind of secondary. I'll still post to them because I know we should have, our fire in the pot in all aspects. But for the most part, I focus on YouTube and Facebook. And like he said, I actually co-sign that.
Awesome. Yeah. And a lot of people don't even realize that you can build on one social platform as long as you have a good, solid foundation on another one. So for example, you and I first broke out through YouTube and, got our name out there, got our brand out there, started building a following through YouTube, but it didn't stop there. My strategy anyway, it was always get the attention on YouTube, channel them over onto Facebook to build that relationship and community. Absolutely. And now it's gone to another level where I'm taking that same following and I'm bringing them over into Haps here and creating another community of people and merging other social groups that I have together in one place. And if we hadn't focused hard on YouTube in the beginning, we would have never had a foundation to jump in and dominate Facebook like we've been doing for the last few years.
Facts. Matter of fact, also to double down on that, another thing you should do is the one time you should take advantage of other platforms, kind of like what Michael did with this, is when it's new. Because when it's new, the algorithms are loose. They're not, even remember when Facebook Live first went live, you was getting 800,000 views right out the gate. Just as soon as you went live, because they wanted to make sure it was getting popular, obviously. Yeah. Then once it gets popular, they just tighten up on algorithm. Now you can barely, do what you used to do. So if you can hit the ground running right out the gate, and then you start getting that following, you build those relationships, kind of like how TikTok was in the beginning. People was going from 0 followers to 1 million followers in months, not years, like it's going to take us on YouTube and some of these other platforms, because those are already saturated, with millions and millions and billions of people on it. What did they say? 1 billion videos get uploaded on YouTube a day. So let that sink in.
That's really good advice because, and it's one of the reasons why I jumped onto Haps.club so quickly, because I thought, this is something fresh. I like the vibe of it. And like you said, the algorithm is completely loose right now. And Peter, and if you're listening, because I saw you on here earlier, no offense by saying that your algorithm is loose. We like it, but he's one of the creators. So,
is he? Oh, wow.
It's true. It's an opportunity for new people, especially that to stand out and not be lost in the crowd, the massive crowd that's out there. We're not saying you can't do it on the other platforms. It's just, why be the big fish in the big pond when you're still a tiny little fish? There's always a pond that you can be the big fish in.
Facts.
In the beginning.
Facts.
And I still actually do that. I love going and being the big fish in the small pond. I sometimes I'll jump in the ocean and sometimes I'm swimming in the ocean with some big fish, but I still love getting in that more intimate setting of just being the big fish in the small pond.
Yep. And follow the trend. You see what's pop, when they saw Clubhouse going crazy, get up in there. Like follow the trend. You see what's making noise, and that's where you put yourself at. I see someone else said, what are the systems you must have in place to run multiple opportunities and income streams? So the go-to one, what I say would be for sure is building your list. Build a list. You heard it before. Money's in a list, but a quality list though. That don't mean buying a bunch of junk traffic, because it does you no good if you build a list that always ends up in the spam or all your stuff gets bounced. So quality over quantity. I've learned that over the years too. When I first came to the game, everybody gets in the list. You don't segment nothing. You got 10,000 people on the list. You feel accomplished. You send an email out and about 150 people open it. Like, it doesn't make sense, right? That math don't make sense. But those are people that actually followed you. Those are people that was on your page and they went there. Those are people that was on your YouTube channel, they opted in. That's a different demographic. So when you send an email, they get it from you. Oh, wow, Caujuan sent me an email. Oh, wow, Michael Mansell sent me an email. Now it's giving off a way different effect, and you're going to have more positive results. So build the list, if nothing else, okay? You don't have all these elaborate funnels and systems if you don't even have anything to send them to at the beginning. But you're always always have enough interest, you know, if you get value, to have someone say, you know what, I like this guy. Let me go and follow him. This girl's really doing it right. Let me go and follow her, and then build that list. Because in time, yeah, it might take you time, right? You might only get a few people down, and then a couple of months from then you might get a few hundred, and then another 6 months from there you might have 1,000 or more. But what would that look like in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? You know, and you just keep on creating it. Now, even with a 1% open rate, what's 1% of 100,000? Yeah, you still put a significant amount of people into your business right now. You know, what's 1% of 10,000, a million? You just still put 100. If you just put 100 people in your business out the gate from an email. So that would be the first place I would start for sure, and then just keep adding to your arsenal. The same way we add electronics and tools and tech is the same way you should add to your marketing. I have so much more. I'm sure Michael Mansell does too. I have so much marketing stuff for days. That's why I give my team so much, you know, from softwares to JV Zoo products, just so much stuff, you know, and same thing.
But it is the same thing with social platforms too. You pick one that's suited to where you're at right now, because I have people that say, well, Michael, should I start with Nowsite or should I start with Kartra? Because I see similarities in their tools and services and features. And I say, definitely start with Nowsite, because Kartra is for, you know, people more like you and I, where we need the membership site and we need some massive campaigns that we're running with tons of, you know, click analytics and a bunch of other stuff in there that we can run. It's just, it depends on, and I use both in my daily business now. But I would never go to somebody starting out and say, hey, you need this and this and this and this and this.
No,
I would say you need this one platform, which is great for you starting out. Master this platform.
Absolutely. And that's definitely it. You know, like they just say, you're supposed to have multiple streams. You know, millionaires have multiple streams of income, and they're right. But they say 7 streams of income, but I got to teach my people. Now you say 7 streams of debt. So see yourself through it. When you join something, see it through. And that goes back to what we said in the beginning. You see me and Michael do different things, and he's in this company and he's in that company. But guess what? He's doing them both at the same time. What he's not doing is getting in this company, and then once you see something over there, say, oh wow, okay, let me go over here now. And then this one just gets left in the cold and dead. No one's paying attention to this company no more. Things are dying down. That's not what he's doing. He's simultaneously building both, you know, and that's the name of the game. Sometimes people get confused. They think it's jumping around. Yeah, I jumped here, I jumped there, I jumped there, I jumped there. And in the course of a year, I've been in 6 different companies, but I didn't see none of them to the end. And that's the wrong impression.
Yeah. And one thing I'll also add to that, and we'll get on to another question here, is that if you feel like you've gotten into affiliate programs or network marketing programs, MLM, whatever you want to call them, in the past that didn't pan out, that you didn't make money, that just ended up becoming an expense rather than an income stream, we've all been there first and foremost. But I never want you guys to look at those businesses as failures. I was actually coaching one of my great team members, Selena, earlier today on a call, and I was encouraging her to look at her past experiences as experiences, good or bad. Look at them as experiences, not failures. Because when we label them as a failure or something that failed, even if the company crashed and burned and it didn't go anywhere, yes, you could label that as a failure, and I get it as it failed. But when we resonate and connect it to our subconscious as a failure rather than that was an experience, you can learn from experiences. You can learn from failure too, but unless you recognize like that was an experience I had and I'm grateful for that experience and everything I learned from it.
Absolutely. And that's just life.
It is. Yeah, it's life, it's business, everything. And if for me, that's what's helped me get past some of my failures.
And yeah, exactly. When something bad happens to you in life, you know, you learn from it. It's a learning experience. You know, if you went down the hill and seen it was too steep, and you slipped and fell, you don't go down the same hill the next day the same way, right? You go more cautiously. All right, let me slow down. Let me put the brakes on.
You bring your sled next time, so you slide right down that thing.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what you need to do. Slide through life, and same thing with these opportunities. It's like, you know what? Yeah, you know, you might make you hit some bad breaks. Also, how can you learn if you don't never take any chance? You gotta take chances in life in order to get to where you want to get to. So we don't always just go from here to there. And it's a smooth run without going through some bumps in the road. So those bumps in the road is just teaching you and sharpening you and having you be the best. Now, if you keep making the same mistakes and you know what the mistakes look like and you keep on going that way, now it turns into that, you know, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me type situation.
Right. Yeah. Or like I was talking on my live yesterday, the pattern of failure. I was helping people get past, you know, how to stop that pattern of failure And one of the things that I would encourage people is stop looking at them as failures, recognize them as an experience, so you can apply what you learned and not make it a failure next time, even if it doesn't. See, here's the thing, and Quantum knows this really well. Also, we will join a company or we'll start marketing a product or a service as affiliates with a certain level of expectation of our own because we know what we're capable of. But not everything will pan out to the level that either the product said it would, the company said it would, your upline, your sponsor thought it would, because none of us can predict the future. So at the end of the day, at whatever level it succeeded at is the level that it succeeded at, and that's okay.
Absolutely. And again, yep, you can't get too emotionally invested because like you said, we don't own anything. We're independent sales reps at the end of the day. So things can change. One thing I learned in life, things will change. That's what life's all about, change. So most things don't just stay the same forever. So, you got that same amount, but that also comes into don't get comfortable. Don't get comfortable with no one company, put all your eggs in one basket. Cause that was another mistake I used to make, like, all right, this is it. Just the woohoo, holy grail. We're gonna take this one to the stratosphere. This is it. We don't need to do anything else. And then something happens, And when that something happens, you don't want to be behind it. You want to be ahead of it. You want to say, okay, you know what? This ain't work out, but it was good while it was good. Right. But I'm glad I secured another situation over here. So it ain't gonna stop no show. We can keep on going because I feel one of the worst feelings is you can't experience nothing you never had, but to have it and then lose it, I think that's when it gets, it'll hit you more. Like, man, you know what? I used to have all these great things. Like, imagine you no longer can walk into your awesome studio. I mean, we'll adapt, but you won't be happy though.
Well, so, and that's a good point though, is as entrepreneurs and affiliate marketers, we have to be able to adapt and grow, whether we're growing bigger or we're sidestepping into something else we need to step into because of situations that change. And the less time you spend regretting what happened to you, the more time you'll have actually creating something that you can have a little bit more control over. So I don't think Quan and I ever look at anything nowadays as something happened to us. It's just what happened. Period. Well, that's what happened. We adapt. It didn't happen to me. It feels like it happened to me. It feels like it happened to you, but it's just what happened. What are we doing next?
Exactly. And you got to realize too, I wish I had my jars here. Everybody has been following me for quite some time. No, I have my rice jars that's been going on 6 years now, and they're still looking the same. It's amazing. But it really drives it home on the fact that when you put those negative words out there and them thoughts into your brain, the universe don't decipher. Like when people say F my life, I never say that. Ooh, even jokingly, never. No. Because you're putting that into the universe. Think about it. So the universe say, okay, F your life. I don't differentiate sarcasm. I don't know when you're being passive aggressive. So I'm just going to give you what you just said. Or you say, nothing works for me. I just fail at everything I try. Every time I try something, I just fail at it. Nah, the universe is going to say, oh, okay. So why should you be successful? Because you just said everything you do. So you got to turn that around. My mom taught me early, look at your glass half full, not half empty. So that's what I really try doing in life. Always half full. Even when it looks like it's a mistake, I'm going to find the good or something bad. I'm going to find the good within that bad and turn that negative into a positive every time.
Yep. Absolutely. Got to keep that mindset. Absolutely right. Let's get to another one of these questions right here. Craig says, what if we don't have a product yet, but we're learning?
Keep learning and don't force it. Don't join stuff just for the sake of joining stuff. Feel like you're missing out. I'm gonna tell you, even when you might think you missed out, there's something right around the corner coming to like there's another bus. These buses ride every 5 minutes. So just wait. Another one become 15, 20 minutes apart. It's kind of like the same thing with marketing. You might feel like you missed out. I felt like that a few times. Oh man, I missed that train. They're over there making a lot of money. And then somebody make a company just like it. It'll be similar, still make money. So you'll always be able to make money. Don't do it for the sake of making money. Do it for the sake of if I don't have a product to push at that particular time, well, that's the perfect time for me now to just be building up my brand, building up my list, getting forging those relationships. Remember, we are in the networking business, so just keep networking. You should always be networking, even when you ain't got nothing to sell. Because to be honest with you, if you're only talking to people when you have something to sell, you're not looking genuine at all.
Right.
People can see you coming a mile away. Like, all right, yeah. It's almost like the fake person that's in your inbox. And when you friend them for the first time, you say, hey, how you doing? I just like talking to other like-minded people like myself. And I just wanted to say hi. And then the picture's coming right after that. Like, all right, hi. And then the pitch comes. You're like, wait a minute, I
Yep.
thought we were just saying hi. So really say hi. Really just give people love. Really go on someone's page and show them the same love you want on yours. And then eventually this thing will take off on its own. Believe me, it does.
Yeah, and one of the best ways to build those relationships early on is through appreciation and showing other people gratitude. People love to get, to be appreciated. So if you see somebody on that posts something on Facebook, don't just or on Haps here, or any social platform for that matter. If you see something, don't just stop at liking it or even just commenting on it. Do those, of course, but then hit them up with a private message and say, hey, Caujuan, I saw what you posted that was really solid, really helped me out today. I appreciate you posting that. Like just that little statement takes you 2 seconds, goes so much further. I can tell you it works with me. The people that do that for me, when they message me 2 months from now about something that they're working on, I'll take notice because I'll remember them. I'm like, that was somebody who took time out of their day to message me, and that uplifted me. So those little bits of gratitude and appreciation for people go a long ways.
And then here go double down what he just said. So now think about it. Someone just left him a nice message. Yeah, Michael, I like that what you put up in that post, real positive. It made my day. It changed my outlook on things. All right, thanks. Then some weeks went past, month went past. Michael forgot all about that comment. A million other people then left him comments. But then one day somebody said, hey, Michael, I got this thing I want you to take a look at. All right. Or Mike might see on his own and say, hey, info. How we do info. But then when he goes to his inbox, he see that the last comment that was made was a nice, positive, uplifting comment from this person. Wow, okay. And you think you're gonna be more subject to look at what they got to offer now? You know how bad he would feel not looking at the very least, just looking at what they just sent him at the.
That's the secret sauce there. I mean, that's the truth right there in terms of why you leave those messages, because if it's bad, that's the thing they're gonna see. If it's good and just consistently good, then when I go in, like, oh man, that was that guy. I would be a jerk if I said no to him sending his video at this point.
Absolutely.
I'm not a jerk. I'm going to say, yeah, go ahead, Roger, send me that information. I'm going to take a look at it.
That's the secret sauce right there. But hey, guys, but it also works in reverse. And this is why you don't want to be pushing a bunch of Ponzi's and nonsense. Because let's say you say, Michael, I want you to take a look at something. Boom. Hey, Michael, I want you to take a look at something 2 months later. Hey, Michael, I want you to take a look at something 6 months later. And then the last time he did it a year later, Michael actually looked in his back office and you know what he's seen? A bunch of old messages that ain't even got that all broken links. Yep. they ain't even up no more. These things are all broken. They go into 404 pages. Like that's not a good look. Cause now it's like, wow, in a year's time, I sent them 3 different bunk programs that was no good. And that's why I said, don't rush the process. Take your time, find something legit. One of the best advice I can get you also is when you're trying to figure it out, follow somebody that's already doing it. So follow somebody that's where you want to be already. Go find you a mentor that's already where you want to be and emulate that person. And especially if that person pull you on and they're not, they don't mind sharing information like Michael did with me. If that happens, then you're really golden. Like and don't go against it. Like, see, how many, I don't know for a fact, Michael told many people the same thing he told me. And they did afterwards?
Thousands.
Nothing. Where's the camera at? Zero. Nothing. Big donut. Did nothing. So people ask me, Caujuan, why did you pay that forward and start telling everybody? Ain't you afraid of people outranking you? Nah, unfortunately, a small percentage is going to do something with the information. It just is what it is. Yep. So don't be that small percentage that you be a small percentage that do something with the information. Okay. Because only a small percentage is going to do it. He can tell you right now to make $1 million from A to Z and still only a small people do it.
Yep. Yeah, that's the truth. Yeah, absolutely. It's just the way it is. And it's at the end of the day, the people that do pick it up like you did and ran with it and, started dominating on page 1 of YouTube with me, it only pushed me to become better and figure out new strategies and do more because I had somebody doing it with me and pushing me and it's fun. And we need more people like that. So if you're sitting there saying, oh, feeling intimidated anyway, or feeling overwhelmed in any way, or I don't know where to start someplace, because we need more honest, ethical people in the space of affiliate marketing that are doing the right thing, that are leading people in the right direction, that are helping people genuinely. And I know there's a lot of you on here right now that are watching that either you're just starting, you've been doing it for a while. I'm here to say it is time to level up and step up into the realm that you might be idolizing or thinking, oh, someday I'll be there. No, today is the day that you start that path to get yourself there. Everybody's going to be different. Maybe it's 2 weeks from now. Maybe it's 2 months. Maybe it's 2 years from now. But if you don't start consistently right now, it will be never. I can guarantee it.
Yep. Hey, I like the saying. They say the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. Second best time is right now.
now. Yep.
So don't feel like you missed anything, or I'm too late, or it's gonna take time. Anything worth having in life took time. And I tell people all the time, even with marketing, if it took you, let's say it took you all year, let's say you joined something and you had no success the first 3 months, and the 6 months in you made a couple $100, but you're not at that sweet spot you want to be at. And then a year from now, because you can't stay consistent, because you was watching the top people in the company, because you put in the work, because you did all the things that it took, boom, you finally hit it. And I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure Michael will attest to this too. If in our world, it'll be like you'll be dead in the water one day, and all of a sudden, bam, you went from, you just went straight to number one. Like, oh my God, everything's working out now. And every time I put something up, it's resonating with people now. And now I am getting success in every company. So my question to you is this: if it took a whole year for that to happen, but then after that year, you was a household name and you was making the type of money you wanted to make, whether it's 5, 10, 20K a month, whatever that sweet spot number is, but you hitting it consistently, then was it worth it? Because we've done a lot more in life and got back a lot less. Didn't you go to school for like 4 years knowing you wasn't going to get paid to do so, but you was banking on what you was going to get when you got out, and you still wasn't guaranteed anything but a piece of paper on the wall? Mm-hmm. or the you know what I mean, or the trade schools you might have went to, or me going to the advertising archives. Like we have done a lot of things in life where we knew that it was going to take time. We didn't go to a corporation, starting in the mailroom, and thought tomorrow we was going to be CEO. I don't care how good you was. You could have been the smartest person in the room. You didn't come with the expectation. You came with, okay, I'm gonna work my way up and I'm gonna become manager and then general. You know what I mean? Like, you knew it was gonna be a process. So treat marketing the same way, because marketing is the only, I feel, working from home opportunities, marketing, network marketing, whatever you want to call it, is the only time you start putting pressure on yourself and putting unrealistic expectation on yourself. You think you're supposed to join today and next month you're supposed to be already knocking it out the park. And some people can do it. And some people might get lucky also. Keep in mind, there's also luck can happen. But to say that that's going to happen consistently is not being realistic, the same way that a person is not going to just join a company and go rise straight to the top. You know what I mean? Consistently.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. That deserves a very good applause, because that was some good words right there for sure. I really appreciate what you're sharing. Sorry, nobody heard the applause. There it is.
There we go.
Now we got the applause. I got too many knobs and dials over here. Let's, as we pull this in, because I wanted to keep this to an hour, and we're coming up on that right now. I've seen a few other questions coming in here, but I want to make sure that I hear from all of our audience here. We've got, man, at one point we were pushing 190 people on here live. We're still sitting at about 166. So we got a lot of people on here that I think this message is resonating with, Quan. So I really appreciate you bringing your energy and your fire that you're bringing here on this, because at the end of the day, if we could all just every day connect with one person that could say a few words in conversation to us that would help keep our head in the game, which is half the battle, is our battle with ourselves, that would mean a world of a difference to you guys, wouldn't it? And let me know in the comments there if you guys could get a little of exposure, a little bit of inspiration, a little conversation, even if you're like most of you are doing right now. I got 170 people right now that are fly on the wall listening to Quan and I just having a conversation like we actually do often, where we just have a conversation, and this is kind of stuff we talk about because Quan and I also need encouragement. We need that little bit of extra edge, and it's just cool to have you guys here. So let me know if you guys are loving this stuff. King, what's up, King?
Say hi.
Can King say something to the audience? Can King sing for us?
You want to sing? Say woo-hoo. Yeah, you too. You see it. You know what's funny? The first year he was talking up a storm. He could say hello.
Yeah, that's so.
Yeah, he could. And then he just went silent on us. Like he laughs like Stephanie. That's funny. He go, ha, ha, ha. That's funny. But he does a lot of cat calls. He loves the ladies. So the ladies come on, he loves them more than us. He'll let them touch his head and all that.
Wow.
But he's nice. Okay.
That's cool. How old is he now? You've had him for a while.
2 years.
2 years.
But he's gonna outlive me though. They actually live like 30 or 40 years.
No, you're gonna live longer than that.
30 more?
No, you got it. Come on.
Yeah, hey, that's good. That's what I'm saying. Speaking of existence, let's go. I'm gonna make it to 90.
Yeah. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
For sure.
All All right. So for those of you that are watching over on Facebook, over on YouTube, make sure you guys get over to haps.club. I want you guys to get over here to this website right here, haps.club. I want you guys to go over there. Make sure you get your account set up. We are streaming live on Haps. There's we got King over there. Haps.club is an amazing place where we are sharing a bunch of content, a bunch of information. I'm not going to go into the details of Haps right now. In fact, I did a live a couple days ago. You can go watch the replay on that. But it is just a fun platform. So, Juan, this is your first live stream as a guest, I know, but your first live stream on Haps, is it not?
This is the first. And I'm like, when I see a ton of engagement. We got 414 likes and hearts and things like that. I still see an active chat. 61 people in the chat right here. And man, I think even on my post on Facebook right now, I mean, on Facebook, I see a ton of people on mine. So I'm kind of liking it. I'm liking this.
I know there's just tons of engagement all over the place, and I just love. And I don't know if you've noticed this, Quan, but there's almost zero latency too. So we say something and people are commenting.
That's nice. And also, you said the owner was on here earlier. Like
Peter is one of the creators on here. He was on here. They're super involved. They do live streams almost every day. Peter Bittner is one of the admins and creators, and then Paulo is another one. And they're just really, really involved in the community. And I love the fact that people can give high fives and super hearts to people and really actually contribute monetarily, even though it didn't cost them any money to get their coin. We can actually reward content creators, which is nice. That the content creators get paid, not the advertisers.
And what's cool too is the fact that, like, let's say someone is busy and they're like, what, Quan, like Mike would say, look, focus on one platform. Well, using a platform like Haps, you actually can focus on all the platforms all at once. That's pretty cool. See, like right now we're streaming live to Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Haps. If I happen to have a game, what's the other one? Twitch, I believe.
You can go live on Twitch, and they're adding some others currently as well. Yeah, you can still, as of today, stream to Periscope, but today's the last day.
I was about to say, is that thing still around?
No, it's today's last day. It's supposedly shutting down today.
Oh wow!
Today's the last day, but and what's really cool about it, for those of you that are content creators that are watching this on those other platforms. Head on over to haps.club, because what you'll find is that not only am I streaming to all those platforms, Quan's streaming to all those platforms too. Normally, when you go on as a guest, or Quan and I were to do a live stream, it'd be like, no, I'm going to go live on my platform and you can share it, or Quan's like, no, I want to go live on my platform, you can share it.
Yep.
And so we both get that native juice, which I just think is really, really creative.
And did that go for, like, if let's say we had 3 or 4 people, it'd be the same deal, right? All of us.
Oh yeah, up to 8 people. So
think
imagine
how powerful that is. Yep.
8 people streaming on their 4 platforms. That's people. And I did this the other day because I was watching one of the lives here on Haps, and I'm connected to the presenters on these other platforms as well. Literally every social platform I went into, I'm like, oh, there they are. Oh, there they are. Oh, there they are. Oh, there they are. And it's just,
hey, we should strategically launch one day like that. All the big leaders get on and see if we can do a big launch. That'd be crazy.
We do that right now. In fact, make sure you guys set your calendar to this alert tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to bring on a good friend of Quan and I, Cedric Harris. I'm bringing Cedric Harris onto the show tomorrow. It's going to be a little bit later time. It's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. But I'm going to be coming live here on Haps again. And I'm bringing Cedric Harris on. He also has not done a live on Haps yet. So
I might have to bring me on to that party too. Let's do a 3.
I know. I should bring you onto that party as well. Get you that exposure all over the place. Maybe be ready. Maybe I'll throw you in there too. So, so make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, for that broadcast with Cedric Harris. He and I go way back with Cedric. Juan just officially met him last year, but you knew him for a while, didn't you, before that?
Oh yeah, for sure. I keep, like I said, keep your ear to the streets. I know all the top marketers in the game, even they know me. And you know what's so funny? See, we joke about it right now. We always got something to joke about. But Cedric, I friended him, and he left me on friend request for like a year. And then he ended up looking at me because what I was doing, and he ended up reaching out to me. And I realized, hey man, I already sent you a friend request like a year ago.
Yeah, no, that's funny. Yeah, I've known Cedric since 2010-ish. So a long time, about 11 years now. And about 5 years ago, I went on and all of a sudden I wasn't friends with Cedric anymore. And I'm like, what? Ced unfriended me? What? I didn't do anything. I've always joined all his stuff. He can't unfriend me. He's not allowed to unfriend me. And so I hit him up in message. Actually, I text messaged him because I had his cell number. So I text him like, "Ced, what's the deal? You unfriended me." He's like, "No, that was my assistant. I didn't do that." And I'm like, "Sure, whatever. Blame it on the VA." That's the name of the game today. I mean, I've got VAs too, virtual assistants. I'm like, "No, that was my VA. Sorry, mistake."
Yep, and that is the go-to. I had somebody take my logo. I said, "Hey, you using my logo on your page?" Oh, that was my VA. Okay, sure.
Sure, yeah, yeah. Because your VA knows a good logo when she sees it, or
You
he
know what I
sees
mean?
it.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
That's funny. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this up here. It's been an hour. I appreciate all of you guys hopping on here on the live, and I want you guys to keep leaving those comments here. Let me know what you think. I want you guys to leave some comments too. What other type of people, what type of industries, successful people that you want me to try to get on to the lives here, because I want to bring you guys some more successful conversations. This was a successful conversation. Conversations of the successful is what I want to keep bringing you guys. So, Quan, any last words you guys want to leave with everybody?
All right, man. Keep it positive. Keep it consistent. Keep your eye on the prize. If we can do it, you can do it. So don't ever count yourself out. Just put your blinders on, stay focused, and hey, I'll meet you at the top.
Awesome, buddy. I really, really appreciate you coming on here. Make sure you guys subscribe to Quan, not just here on Haps, but hit him up over on YouTube. Look up his videos. Check out the stuff he's doing. He's doing some amazing stuff with his programs right now. So be sure to go over and check them out as well. So I will see you guys on the next live.
Peace.